Thanks, Stephen.
I know, right? Bless.
What will we do without him?
Okay. It's recording.
Okay. So I wanted to talk to you guys tonight a little bit about Instagram. I feel like if you guys are on our team, you're probably super active on Facebook already. And we post Facebook tips all the time. But if you guys feel like you need a Facebook Zoom of like, tips and tricks and little like follow hacks and things like that, we can totally put that together for you guys too. But I feel like even myself, I could be better about my Instagram usage. There are actually whole teams who have built their entire downline via Instagram, which is crazy. And I wanted us to all take a minute and think about the fact that there's like about 2,000 of us on our team, and just on our team legend page, we're at almost 1,000 people. What that would look like if we were all actively pursuing people on Instagram as well. So why should we be using Instagram? So Instagram has over 5 million total users. So think about that. 5 million people who can have access to your photos. And then 3 million of those people actually get on Instagram daily. So as far as like utilization, more people, a more common percentage of people actively use their Instagram if have it versus using their Facebook if they have it, which is crazy. And users spend about 20 minutes a day on it, which is second only to Facebook. The other reasons that we need to be using it is 55% of users are between the 18 and 29 range. So if you think about that, that's a pretty big target demographic for us. And then 28% are between the 30 and 49 range. So on Instagram, you're going to get a little over 70% of your people, closer to 80%, are going to be in the 18 to 50 range. And I feel like if you guys are honest with yourself, that's probably 95% of your customers. And then over 80% are actually outside of the US. So as we're expanding into other countries, Instagram is going to be a huge way for you to expand into other countries, easier than Facebook. So you can probably post 10 times, hey, how many of my friends, have friends who live in Australia, and you may get one hit. With a super simple search of some Instagram hashtags, you can follow hundreds of people from Australia. And then 65% of the US users are actually women. And then 37% of the users make over $75,000. So these are going to be our people who have disposable income, who would be interested in paying $140, to feel amazing and drink some keto. So those are some of the main reasons why we should be utilizing Instagram, just because Instagram is going to have a huge amount of our target demographic. But I know that you guys don't really care about the why. So let's talk about really quick. I'm going to keep it short because I know we have State of Play call coming up soon. But how to use Instagram to get more followers. If you're not already utilizing Instagram, I challenge you guys to start this week. Take a screenshot of your Instagram of follow. Check my 1,400, and then use these tips and tricks for 1 week and see where you are next week. So using hashtag followers. So there's a 30 hashtag max on your posts, so you cannot use more than 30 hashtags, but they found that the posts with most interaction have a minimum of 11, if not more. So your goal when you're posting something about keto is to at least have 11 hashtags. Make some of the hashtags in the very beginning the super obvious ones. So, hashtag keto, hashtag ketogenic diet, hashtag, keto transformations, hashtag weight loss. And then you can also use the basic generic Instagram hashtags like hashtag Instagood. If it's food, hashtag, foodie, or what I ate. There's a whole hashtag trend for what I ate for dinner. And then a tip that if you're not 100% sure like what other hashtags to use is to actually go ahead and post it with the hashtags you're going to use, and then click on one of the hashtags and then find a few of those pictures and look at those pictures and see what other hashtags people used along with it. So you might find some hashtags that you weren't really thinking about using if you click through some of the other hashtags that you just used. Like and comment on posts from target audience. So while you're searching through those hashtags, so you're searching the keto hashtag and you find posts that pop up that have a ton of likes or a ton of comments, make sure you're also liking and commenting on those, that you are using those same hashtags. They did research and found that about 100 likes will get you 6 followers. So if you go through and you type in keto in your little search bar and you see all of the keto pictures pop up, go through and like each picture, and about for every 100 likes that you give, you should gain around 6 relevant followers. Another idea is to hold a contest with appropriate hashtags. So maybe give away a free, 5-day experience, and use appropriate hashtags like to win, like to enter, win contest, and then also cross promote on other social media. So if you have an Instagram contest, make sure you're also posting that Instagram contest on your Facebook page with a link to your Instagram. You should be getting your Facebook followers, your Snapchat followers, your Twitter followers, all to follow you on Instagram, because the cool thing about Instagram is that people see a much larger percentage of your posts. So you have all of those people who are on your Facebook who are like, oh yeah, I didn't even know you were selling Prove It. And you've been selling it for like 4 months and you post about it 10 times a day. And it's just because they don't see your posts. You're not going to get that with Instagram. So Instagram shows a wider variety of posts to the people who follow you, because odds are the people who are following you aren't following 10,000 Instagram pages. And so they're going to see all of yours. Let's see what else. Use popular hashtags. So there's actually, if you just search on just Google and you type in popular Instagram hashtags, lists and lists and lists of popular hashtags are gonna pop up, like just the hashtag love, hashtag Instagood, hashtag photo of the day. If you're using those hashtags, you're tags when you're on Instagram, and people will be able to find you that way. 2 a.m. and 5 p.m. Are the 2 best times to post daily, where you're going to get the most engagement. And I know all of you are thinking, there's no way in hell I'm getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I am posting on Instagram at 2 a.m. That's where you can use scheduling apps. So I use Hootsuite. You can schedule your Instagram posts. And unlike Facebook, if you use it for using Facebook, where it says like in the little description of your like your name and then the time that you posted it, it'll say that it was posted via an app. It doesn't do that on Instagram. So people aren't really like looking at you going, oh my gosh, I can't believe she scheduled a post for 2 o'clock in the morning. But you can schedule it for 2 o'clock in the morning. Post consistently. So the people who have the most fans are going to be people who post at least 2 to 3 times a day. But your bare minimum you guys should be striving for is once a day. And then another thing that's great is if you guys haven't been on Instagram lately, I challenge you guys to look at Instagram. And if you haven't updated your Instagram lately, update it. Instagram now has stories. So stories are a lot like your Snapchat story. And this is a great way to like foster connections. So all of these stories pop up across the top of your page. So if you think about it, your friends who are following you probably have, 1,000 people that they follow. Well, out of those 1,000 people, 500 people don't even post. And out of the other 500, maybe 10 or 15 of them actually utilize that story feature on Instagram. So what that means is if you post something on your story, it is going to be the first thing that person sees as soon as they log on to Instagram. They're going to be the little bubbles across the top of this screen that are going to give you the option to view your Instagram story. So definitely utilize the Instagram story. And that's also a great place to live video. So I don't know if you guys have gotten notifications from Instagram lately, but if one of your people you follow on Instagram goes live, you get a live video notification just like you do on Facebook. However, the Instagram live video notification tends to be a little more reliable and a little faster. And so I don't really know what the reason behind that is, but 9 times out of 10, if I see Jessica Craig is live now in Team Legend, I catch it 2 or 3 minutes after she's already gone live. And that tends to happen a lot on Facebook. But I will say I've been checking it, especially today. I've gotten about 6 notifications that people have gone live on Instagram. And I have checked it, and I have been able to actually catch them live. So that's something good to take note of, is when you go live on Instagram, you get the same notifications. They just tend to be in real time. And live videos show up on the Explore page. So if people have been searching weight loss or have been searching, keto, and your video, if Instagram feels like your content has a lot to do with weight loss and keto and ketogenic and transformations, and that's something that person has been interested in lately, it's kind of creepy. But Instagram will actually be like, hey, this person really wants to see so-and-so's live video who they've never met, and wants to see their story, because this person has a lot to do with weight loss. This person who don't follow you. Obviously, your profile has to be public for this to happen, so I highly encourage you guys to. But I encourage you guys to utilize the story feature, because you never know who you could reach. Because they've been searching weight loss or keto or prove it or whatever it is. And that brings us back to who you like and who you follow and what content you post. Is like Instagram basically reads that. So if you're always posting content about weight loss transformations and diet, and you're posting pictures of your food and things like that, and you're using those figures, it kind of figures you out. You'll start showing up. Like if you notice in your Instagram feed some random people and you're like, I don't follow them, it's because you've been posting about things, and this person has been posting about things, and Instagram feels like you guys should be connected. So it's kind of weird, but Instagram will put you in that person's feed. Also about the live videos, 52% of marketing professionals say that video content is the best ROI, so return on investment. So you could spend 10 minutes creating a really cool picture that you post with 1 million hashtags, or you could spend 10 minutes creating a video. You'll get 52% more of a return on your investment for that video than you will of that picture. So that's something to think about as well. And then video impressions are 65% of all actions on Instagram. So Instagram, if you guys didn't know, is bought out by Facebook. So you'll notice that Instagram and Facebook have a lot of the same similarities. It's because they're now owned by the same company. And so Instagram gives rank, just like Facebook gives rank. And you hear us talking about trying to get people to comment on your posts and share your posts and like your posts. That's your same goal with Facebook. So video has a heavier rank than photos. So if you are posting a video, more people are going to see it. It's going to be more shown in your Instagram feed than a photo will. Search for hashtags with active communities behind them. So find a few hashtags that work for you. Like hashtags mornings like these. If you look that hashtag up on Instagram, it has like over 1 million posts attached to it, and people post pictures of their morning routines. If your morning routine is shaking up keto, and you post a picture of you shaking up keto with the hashtag mornings like these, they'll start to see your posts as well. Or if they click on mornings like these, your picture will pop up too. So just be thinking about some of those communities that can get you noticed. So like ketogenic transformations and keto transformations is a community of people who have used the keto diet to lose weight and posted their before and after pictures. So if you're using that hashtag, you'll show up in those people's types of feeds. What else? Oh, another good learning tip was from taking it from Starbucks. So if you go to Starbucks Instagram site, you'll notice that they don't always just post pictures of Starbucks. They don't always post pictures of coffee cups. They post photos that convey the emotions associated with your brand. So take a quick second and think about what emotions are associated with Prove It, what emotions are associated with keto. You know, like we post a lot of things on our Facebook page, like a Prove It Facebook page about adventure, and, you know, being better and doing more. And you'll see a lot of pictures of people being physically fit and active. So your post doesn't necessarily have to be a picture of keto every time, but you're going to want to share photos that convey the emotions associated with your brand. So if the emotions that are associated with Prove It and keto are not depressed, sad memes, and they aren't like emo music quotes, and they aren't all of those things that you scroll through Instagram and Facebook and you're like, oh my God, I think I'm gonna block this person. It's not those. It's not, you know, the mean Facebook memes and all of that stuff. So you want to make sure that your content is brand appropriate, because I don't know about you guys, but when I do use Instagram, if I see somebody pop up in my feed and I haven't really paid attention to them before and they have a really good post and I'm like, man, I really like that picture, I will click on their name and scroll through all of their other posts, and then like 10 minutes later you find their post from like that you're all the way back at the beginning and you realize that you've Instagram stalked this person for an hour. You want the content that these people see when they Instagram stalk you to convey the emotions associated with your brand. So making sure that all of your things are positive. So like Starbucks always posts things that are warm, friendly, that are people having special moments. So think about like your brand along with Prove It and what emotions you want to convey. Also show the human side, so personal images, you and your, it's similar to Facebook, like you and your family, you and your kids, your dog, what you had for dinner. So it shouldn't be prove it, you know, keto, workout. It should also include content that's actually personal and means something to you. And, you know, you can do that and still keep your privacy. I mean, obviously you don't have to post a picture of your husband in his underwear, but you can post a picture of you and your husband. So show the human side. If you have a business Facebook page, so that's the other way that Facebook and Instagram are now integrated, is if you have a business page on Facebook, you can convert your Instagram to a business Instagram. It is an option under settings. You do have to link it to a business Facebook, so you can't just convert it to a business Instagram without also having a business Facebook. And then you can pay for advertising. So if any of you guys have figured out, you know, algorithms for Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising is going to be exactly the same. And it's also going to give you analytics. So if you guys have a like page on Facebook and you know anything about the analytics side of it, it's going to tell you like how many impressions you've had, how many post clicks you've had, how many likes, how many more followers, all of those kind of things. But there are actually apps out there that you can link your personal Instagram to, and they will do this work for you without you having to have a business Instagram. The only thing it won't tell you is impressions. Ashley Pittman, sorry, I'm gonna get on here and actually see what this is. Yeah, there you go. So she said she went on and hit the follow all button on Instagram and started following all over her Facebook friends and had 100 new followers in 30 seconds. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, so there is that option too. You can go in, and then you can also, I don't go in and I don't follow everyone who follows me, but you can do that. And then another thing that's kind of sneaky is you can actually follow people and then wait for them to follow you back. And then if you don't really care about their content, you can actually unfollow them again. It's kind of shady, but if it, you know, is people who you aren't related to whatsoever and have nothing to, you know, you don't really care about any of their stuff. You're just wanting to get your stuff showing up in more people's feed, and you want more followers, because honestly, Instagram also takes into consideration the amount of followers that you have. And if you have more followers, you're going to be weighted. You're going to be weighted a lot heavier than someone who has no followers. So you're more likely to show up on that Explore page. Your pictures are more likely to show up by the searchable hashtags. And then another thing is same rules as Facebook. Always add emojis. So adding emojis to your Instagram comment, like your comment and your description, is going to cause somebody to stop scrolling, because when you're scrolling through Instagram, you see photo words, hashtags, photo words, hashtags, like it's just a pattern over and over and over again. That, emoji, heart eyes, and smiley face, and, a ring, or a guy running, or, an apple, whatever it is that, you throw in there, is enough to make people stop scrolling sometimes. And then if you're having some kind of contest, you can say tag a friend to win. Odds are that person is going to be like, oh, cool, a contest. Well, I'm going to follow this person and I'm going to like this picture because that's what's required of me for the contest. And then I'm going to tag another friend. So you tell people that, you're having this contest and that they need to follow you, like the post, and then tag a friend to enter. And that can cause like a trickle effect. Hey, Shugs. And then let's see, there was a couple of other things. So I also am going to post in the team page this really awesome blog called Buffer. They have actually what filters get the most likes and get the most interaction. So some general things are filtered photos are 21% more likely to be viewed and 45% more likely to be commented on than unfiltered ones. So if you're taking a picture, add a filter. And then the filters that increase the chance of views and comments are higher exposures, warmer temperatures, and higher contrast. And then actually, you can see it, they have like an entire thing of this versus that, of what you should do with your Instagram pictures to get more likes, which is kind of cool. So I'll link that, but it's basically saying like images with high amounts of texture, images with higher saturation of color, selfies without duck face. That's actually one of the things. So no duck face selfies on Instagram. They will get less likes. And then a high amount of background content. So if, like you guys have seen the new iPhone 7, I know Jessica had to go get the 7 Plus. It has the portrait mode where it's focused on your face, or it's focused on whatever you're wanting it to focus on, and then the background is kind of blurry. That's also going to help with get your Instagram engagement up with that photo too. Do you guys have any questions about Instagram? If you guys have Hootsuite, you can also, when you're scheduling out your Instagram posts, they actually have an option on Hootsuite where you can find the trending hashtags for like the last 12 hours. So you can click on it and see what hashtags are trending. And I mean, obviously you don't use some random hashtag that has nothing to do with keto. Like you're not going to hashtag like, cookies and brownies if that's trending. I mean, maybe you are. Maybe you're trying to get into the people's feeds who are eating cookies and brownies and hashtagging it on Instagram. But you know what I mean? Like, if it has nothing to do with it, odds are, yeah, I bored you to sleep. Odds are that it's not going to work for you. But any of the trending hashtags that have anything to do with Instagram. Do you guys have any other questions? How many of you guys are actually using Instagram currently to promote Prove It? Jessica, Marlo, Jeanette, and Erin. How many of you guys feel like you could do a better job of using Instagram to prove it? How many of you guys commit for the next 7 days to do as much as you can to up your Instagram game when it comes to Prove It? Yeah? Okay. So main things are post consistently, use hashtags, use your video content. So make sure that you're using your stories and your lives. And I feel like that's going to get you guys a few more followers by the end of the week. Is there anything else I missed? Jessica, do you have any tips and hacks for Instagram over there?
No, I'm not great at Instagram, but I have actually gotten a few sales just from hashtags. So like in my other business, I hashtagged like, weight loss and different things like that all the time. And I never got anything ever off of a random hashtag. But I think the keto community is so big right now, like not necessarily Prove It in Keto OS. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who are, following a ketogenic diet or looking into a ketogenic diet, different things like that. Like it's pretty a pretty big deal right now. So even on Facebook, type in keto and keto life and ketogenic, like all those different, be quiet, sorry, all those different hashtags, because it really does make a difference. And also, don't forget to hashtag prove it in all of your stuff, because I've actually had a couple people who, sorry, I'm about to lose it on my kids today. I've actually had a couple people who were just interested in prove it, and so they typed in prove it, and I was one of the first people to come up on their Facebook, like just from one of my hashtags. And so they ended up enrolling underneath me. So hashtags can make a huge difference in your business. But I'm super excited about this, Sierra. Like, we have a couple people on our team right now who are growing like so much, and it's all from Instagram. So I'm ready to blow it up for sure.
Yeah, that reminds me of like two more things I forgot. One is make sure that your campfire video is your website on Instagram. So in your Instagram bio, you can actually put a website. Make sure that your campfire video is your website or your Prove It Now link. I highly suggest your campfire video, because if people get curious, they'll click on it. And the other thing is, if you're using Instagram to sell, Instagram doesn't want you to do that. So what they have started doing is, if someone comments with their email address, it will delete their comments. So if you are selling 5-day experiences via Instagram, you ask people to direct message you. You don't tell them to comment their email address, because if they comment their email address, it'll get deleted. You'll never see it. You'll never know who commented. You'll never know that somebody wanted to buy it. So tell them to direct message you, or fill out the thing on your 5-day experience request on your campfire video or whatever it is, but don't have them actually comment their email address, because it will delete it. I think that's the only things that I forgot that I should have put on there before.
Sierra, how do you feel about building relationships with random people that you follow, like that you don't already know, like commenting on their stuff? Like, do you feel like that gets you more,
it does,
like makes you more credible with them if you're commenting on their pictures, like, oh, that looks so good, I'll have to make that one night, and they have no freaking clue who you are?
It does, because if somebody random comments, think about it, if somebody random comments on your Instagram and comments on one of your pictures, and it's like, hey, that looks so delicious, or whatever it is, doesn't that make you sit there and want to go click on their page and like figure out who in the world is this person and why are they commenting on my stuff? So I don't know. I used to talk about this a lot with people, the people who you're targeting on Facebook are the people who you're thinking, man, they could really benefit from keto. It's that person who complains about being tired all the time. It's that person who has migraine headaches or whatever it is. And you're targeting them as being potential people who might like Keto OS. And you go comment on all of their things so that all your stuff shows up in their feed. The same thing goes for Instagram. So you can follow people on Instagram, comment on their stuff, and they may not even know who you are, and we'll do that. You don't want to listen. Who doesn't want to listen, Amanda? I must have missed something.
How do you feel about, here's another one. How do you feel about using Instagram to gain potential promoters or people who are looking for a part-time job or a work from home type situation or whatever?
Yeah, I actually use those hashtags probably weekly. So I don't want to like just make people feel like I'm that, that annoying person who follows you who's like, want to make money from home. You don't want to be that person. So I do it randomly and occasionally, and you guys are welcome to look at my Instagram. You can follow me too while you're at it, but you can look at my Instagram and see what's on there. And I've been trying to be a lot better about it the last couple of weeks. So I'll post like some of the posts and some of the hashtags that I've used. Let me pull them up really quick. I've posted like inspirational quotes or, something that would get people to interact with me. And a lot of the content that I'm posting, I'm also posting on Facebook. So like I made the, if not making money in your sleep, maybe you have the wrong job, if you guys have seen that on mine. And then use the hashtags join me, hustle hard, mompreneur. I've used mom life, network marketing. Boss Babe has a whole following. So if you make a cute little, picture like this, and I know like 50 of you guys have messaged me and asked me what app I use to make all of these photos. It's called Canva. It's Canva. It's a not Instagram, sorry. It's an iPhone or iPad app. And it's super, super user friendly. It's free. And I use it to make all the cute little like posts like these that I've made recently. But like this one is, I did entrepreneur, real talk. And so people who want to make money from home, you know, they're sitting at home and they're like, man, I wish I could, you know, get into a network marketing job or something, or direct sales or something like that. I mean, they could totally use those hashtags and wind up on your Instagram page. So, but yeah, some of the things that I learned myself that I need to be better at, or that I need to be using more hashtags, that I typically use between like 7 to 10. Yes. So my problem is my Instagram is actually linked to an old Facebook account that I don't use, but you can make it super easy and do your content that way, and you can make your Instagram post and share it to Facebook that way. Another thing that I've noticed is that Facebook actually puts heavier weight on a photo if it is coming from your Instagram. So if you post to your Instagram, and I'll have to find the article about it, but if you post to your Instagram and your Instagram posts to your Facebook, because Facebook owns Instagram, that Instagram photos album actually has a heavier weight than your mobile uploads. So definitely utilize that feature. That's really important too. And make sure you have a good balance. So like I have a ton of like cutesy family photo kind of things. And then I have some prove it posts, and I have some cutesy family ones, and I have some prove it posts. So just like your Facebook, if somebody opens it up, like you want to be, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but like you want to be attractive to them. So you want all of your pictures to be cute and filtered. You don't want it to be 55 unfiltered selfies. You want to like, you know, be that person that somebody would want to follow. So be really honest with yourself and open up your Instagram later on tonight and look at your pictures objectively and look at your overall screen. Like if I look and my first little screen that pops up is 99% prove it posts, I'm like, oh crap, I need to post some cute pictures of my kids or my puppy or something. Because if they open this up, all they see are your first 9 photos. And if your first 9 photos are stock photo, prove it, shake your bottle, they're not going to follow you. So make sure you have a really good balance, and that, you know, the content is mixed up, and that the photos that are popping up at the very beginning would make you want to follow you. So that's really important too.
I think food posts probably get the most interaction for me personally, and that goes for Facebook a lot of times too. Like people love food, and they want to know, especially if you're in something, you know, health and wellness, you know what I mean? Like if you're posting healthy foods that look really good and you're willing to share the recipe with them, yeah, they will. I mean, even people love, you know, food that's not healthy too, but of course we don't want to be talking about brownies and all that all the time. But if you have a good keto meal, whether or not it's out to dinner, or if you made it at home, or if you're just having a keto snack, make your picture look cute, throw a filter on it, and use all those hashtags and stuff, and people just love it.
The other thing to remember about that is now that Instagram has the share feature, major brands can share your photo. So make sure, like if you're eating at such and such restaurant, that you are at symbol tagging the restaurant as well as hashtagging them. So like the other day I posted a picture. It was just outside of Piper and Leaf Tea, which is like this local like cool tea place we have here. I tagged Piper and Leaf Tea in it, but it also was like about being an entrepreneur and how blessed I was and all of that kind of stuff. And Piper and Leaf Tea liked it. But can you think about how many followers I could have gained if Piper and Leaf was like, oh man, I really love that, and they had hit that share button and shared it. So that has happened to some of my friends. They've, you know, used a certain makeup and they've, you know, tagged the makeup brand in it, and that makeup artist or, you know, that makeup brand has regrammed is what it's called, regrammed their photo. You know, you could get that out of the same thing with using, you know, brands, using restaurants, using places you go. And then sometimes if I clicked on at Piper and Leaf Tea, I can actually look at all of Piper and T's mentions, and my picture's in there. So you'll see the at Piper and Leaf if you tag them in it. Like I've actually tagged Brian Underwood in quite a few of my pictures on purpose, because if somebody's on Brian Underwood's Instagram and they click that little button that's photos of Brian Underwood, my pictures are going to pop up because I tagged him in it. So you can do the same thing for brands that you use. You can use the same thing for Prove It. And that way if somebody's scoping out the Prove It Instagram and you've tagged Prove It in the photo, you pop up on the Prove It photos. So that's another thing. I just keep thinking of random things.
I know, I can't deal. This is awesome. I feel like I've gotten a ton of value from this Zoom, so we appreciate you doing this so much, Sierra. Hey, Parker.
Thanks. She said, what's that?
Hang on, Chubbs wants to see her.
Doesn't she look like she's like 15 in this?
She does. She looks full grown.
Stop. Look, there's Shuggies. Say hey, Shugs. All right. Well, if you guys have any personal questions for me, you're welcome to message me, or you can use the thread that I posted about this Zoom to ask questions. And I know Jessica's going to work on getting it put back up on our Facebook page if you hopped on late and you missed it.
Stephen will do that.
Stephen is going to work on doing that for us because he's the bomb. Oh, and now Parker wants to color all over my notes, so I probably won't be able to reference them ever again. So.
And y'all don't forget the state of play call is in 4 minutes, so jump.
Woo, perfect timing.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Do I hit stop recording?
Yes.